Alright, in this video, I'm going to be doing a replay analysis of this, I think it's like Crusader 1, pause for Zeus. Yeah, Crusader 1, pause for Zeus. I'm a big fan of Zeus as a hero. I normally play him mid. He is a bit greedy as pause for, but I do think you can get away with it. However, I think that he's kind of difficult to conceptually play in lane as a pause for, so we'll see how this goes. And I'm not an expert on exactly how you should play, but I'm going to kind of see what happens, and then I'll give my feedback on it. Maybe pull up Dota 2 Pro Tracker if we need to. I'm assuming this is not blocked. This is just kind of scout if they are pulling, but not to block it. I think that's okay sometimes. You've got, we'll look at position 3 Grimstroke? What's happening here? Person said this is a pause for Zeus replay, so I guess we'll see what ends up happening. Oh, okay, wait, what's happening? Okay, you can't just like walk up this hill blind to Zeus. Your hero just doesn't do this. Also, I don't think skilling W level 1 is good as position for Zeus. I don't think you ever do this. Maybe you do? Alright, we're gonna check. We are gonna check. So, Zeus. Support. I guess people do start Lightning Bolt mostly. Okay, in the few games that I've seen, people have gone Arc Lightning, but those must have just been, for the most part, exceptions. What are we looking at? We're looking at this one through Red Fire. So here, Bolt, Bolt, Arc Lightning, Bolt. Okay, so I guess you can do either. So, alright, I won't blame this. Kind of an unfortunate lane if this is their pause 5. It's like, what are you going to do here? You have a Life Stealer off lane. Oh, Jesus. Lord have mercy. Okay, so you lost your TP. This is a very bad start for you. And you're going first item null. Okay. Some people do this. Dota 2 Pro Tracker. So I know with this person, I've like watched them play like CM and Warlock, I think, and you don't right click the opponent a lot. And so as pause 4, you kind of want to be aggressive. Yeah, you could be like throwing in little right click pot shots, especially with a double melee. Like you shouldn't be like doing nothing. Like you're doing nothing. This is kind of a problem with you as a player from what I've seen, and is like the third game I've looked at now, is that you're kind of just doing nothing. Like, you need to be like whacking these guys, especially the Slark. Like a Slark does not like a support right clicking him. And you just have to like kite it out, right? Like yes, I know your attack range is short, but like you walk towards him and get a right click. If he's walking towards you, you back off, you know? And if he's not, you hit him again. And like you kind of have to do this dance. And you just have to practice it to try it, because you're just doing nothing. And when they go on you, then you attack them. Like, you need to be constantly harassing them. Otherwise, you're just not putting on enough pressure. Okay, so you completely used all your mana. You took your Q level 2. That is not a thing, actually. I guess you're sort of close to a kill attempt, but if you notice, like, in every game, regardless of what they start, they took leap level 2. Every game, this one has leap level 1, every game has leap level 2. It's just so good. It's a slow, so you can use it aggressively and you can use it defensively. So definitely take leap level 2 regardless what you take level 1. And then I think unless you're like mid, usually you go back at level 3 for whatever you would put a point in level 1. So you're either going to be 2-0-1 at level 3 or 0-2-1, depending on if you started Q or W. Because you don't really have mana to use all 3 of your spells. I mean, this hero just needs so much mana, you barely have enough mana for 2 of them, but... Okay, so they're doing no pulls. You're going to look for a bounty rune. A fitting bounty. I mean, this isn't too bad because you didn't like need to be at your lane. This worked out okay. This worked out okay. This was okay because you didn't need to be at your lane. Like the lane equilibrium is pretty good, so I didn't mind that rotation. Did not mind it at all. If your core is farming safely, you can look to do other things. So walking mid here does not make sense. Like you as a hero, you do not like react to like ganks to turn them. Like your skill set doesn't really enable that, especially without your leap, because that's the only thing that would like possibly help. So when you're in this scenario where their support, I think their DK was like mid or right, their pos 5's not there and it's a 2v1 top, like you just need to pressure this guy. Like this Slark has no regen, no stick. Like if you just dump all your mana into this Slark, he's fucked. I need you to think about that and see that he's like, if you just bolt this guy twice and right click him a couple times, he has no play. He's just useless. And instead you're just wasting your time walking mid to help a hero that's like, you don't need to be helping. Like, it's nice that you're here now because you're gonna get a bunch of like free XP, which is like super nice on Zeus. But like, you could have just completely owned that Slark. And you just didn't. And you just stack. If you don't have heroes that take ancient stacks, which you really don't, just stack the small camp. Or the medium, or hard, whatever you want to call it. Stack this camp. So you're stacking the ancients. Yeah, so you just don't have heroes that do ancient stacks. You just have to look at your draft. If you don't have heroes that do ancient stacks, you shouldn't be stacking ancients. Oh wow, look at that. The Slark just dies. You like look at him. Yeah, you could have just been up here doing this a little bit earlier, I think. Just like your mindset is just to not apply pressure. Like you don't do it as a pos 5, and it's even more important to do it as a pos 4, and you're not doing it as a pos 4 either. Like, this ogre like totally sees you. Yeah, you need to have leap. This is not a thing. You cannot not have leap at this phase in the game. You just can't. Slark's kind of feeding. You're buying a wand. I don't think you really need this wand. Because here's the thing. It's like, you're not in the lanes battling them. Like, this Slark's not casting spells in the lane. This DK's not really casting spells in the lane. Like, you're not going to get a lot of charges out of this wand. Like, you've shown up to, like, kind of clean up the kill, but, like, you're not in a lane where a lot of spells are being thrown out. So I don't think this wand makes a lot of sense. Instead, get, like, a Sage's Mask Bassi or just a Raindrop and then save up for your Arcane Boots, you know? Like, do you need this wand right now? I, like, don't think you do. And I'm not saying to not buy wand of this game. I'm just saying I don't think buying the wand right now makes sense given how you're playing. Walking on a base with 5 clarities is not really a thing. This is just overbuying regen. And I know you run out a lot, but you just have to be okay with, like, going back to base sometimes. And then, like, trying to be smart with the mana you do have. And this is just not really a thing. Like, 250 gold's a lot, right? That would put you at 450 golds, and it would make you not super far off your energy booster, right? Like, if you want to leave lane with, like, or leave base with 1 clarity, 2 maybe, like, okay. But, like, don't buy 5. That is too much. You still don't have your leap. I guess you take your ult at 6, which is fine, but, like, I just hate that you don't have your leap here. Like, you guys can literally chase this guy down. If you have a leap to slow him, like, that guy would literally die. So it seems like conceptually you don't understand what makes Zeus good right now. Just his leap. Keeping your eye on the map. So you TP bottom, but your teammate dies.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, I don't really like this TP. Again, you do not react. Like, your hero just doesn't react to heroes getting gone on. That's just not what he does. Your hero applies pressure in lane with mana and damaging them, and then he wants to sit in a free lane at some point and kind of just farm. And then you want to be aggressive and, like, throw out your spells to, like, get kills. But, like, you don't react to ganks or turn them around. It's just not what your hero does. Okay, looking for some kills mid. Okay, so you're completely out of mana now. You have enough mana for Arcane Boots. It's kind of a weird stack. Not really sure what that accomplishes. Like, you don't have any cores down here anymore. So, like, unless you're planning on farming that, I don't... Like, the enemy could just get that stack. It's kind of weird. I would have liked you to just go buy your arcane boots instead. Getting them soon is good. Getting items sooner equals more gooder. And yeah, that's why scaling the bolt is like not... I don't know. If I were pause for Zeus, I think I would favor the arc lightning because like eventually you want to get a value point in this to like D-ward and cancel TPs, but the mana scales up and it's just not as nice to spam when it costs 15 extra mana. Like, damage is good, but the damage on your Q is really good too. So, like, I would probably be 4-1-4 on all my Zeus pause 4s. Get 4-1-1 into, like, 4-1-4. You definitely need a pointed heavenly jump. I mean, 1-4-1 minimum, and then probably 1-4-4. Like, you don't have the mana to continually spam these two abilities, and you need to take heavenly jump, and the cooldown scales so well on heavenly jump that you kind of need to max this second. You don't max it first, but you need to max it second. So you kind of show back up to your lane eventually after buying the mana boots and your long walk. It's like, okay, this is reasonable.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Life Stealer's low, so you can't really look to like pressure or dive the DK. Like, you don't initiate plays like that, so that's kind of okay.
Is under attack.
So you're wandering main. What's happening? You're stacking?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I need you to like think about being back top though. Like, you're gonna walk away from top. Like, I want you to like look to go back. Kind of are now. Yeah, I don't know if I would have walked away when you did though, because your Lifestealer was kind of recovering in the jungle temporarily, but then he was gonna like want to go back to lane again, and the three of you together, even with Lifestealer not having a lot of HP, you just, if this DK steps out of position, you do threaten him, especially if you have a point in Heavenly Jump. So I think you're looking to stack is like kind of okay, but like look where this DK ends up being, and like your team's going on him. Like if you were here, this guy would be like dying. Instead, you like come stack. Like, you want to be looking to play behind like whatever heroes on your team are gonna do things, and like I don't think it was too hard to see that something was gonna probably happen there. Right. Finally took your lead. Alright, not bad, not bad. So you're getting your arcanes, got a really nice arcane ring. Looks like you're gonna go buy the Void Stone. This is reasonable. Fat ogre.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Illusion.
Dire's bottom tower.
I think sitting in this lane is kind of nice. This is what your hero wants to do, is like sit in a lane and farm it, which is a pause for is like kind of greedy, but at your low MMR, it's probably pretty easy to get away with. And they even are running this in like high MMR games right now, so like it's playable. Check out rewards. Bad. Would have been kind of nice to stay top though. You know what I mean? Like your Lifestealer wasn't there, and now nobody's been in this lane for like 40 seconds, and you could have just been there pushing it in. If you want, you can like play safely in the trees on the side, like push it in with Q, get the farm. Like, I wouldn't walk away from free lanes at your MMR or at any MMR really. Given that you're here though, you know, it's working out.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Structures are fortified.
Also, I don't think your backpacking items. Yeah, try and backpack or drop on the ground like your Knoll and your magic wand when you're using the arcane boots and the arcane ring. You can even drop your arcane boots when you're using arcane ring, and drop arcane ring when you're using arcane boots. It's a lot of button pressing, but it really like just saves you mana in the long run, which means you have to buy less regen, which is just more efficient. So try and get in the habit of doing that, at least to like drop your Knoll and your wand and use your arcane boots. You know, keep it simple. Do that. Okay, so you kind of TP down here. It's a little reactionarily, but they were like diving, so that was kind of okay. going straight Ags, buying 4. Yeah, I don't think this is a thing. Like, I think you just have to be okay with like going back to base sometimes. Like, you TP down here, and you got this kill. Now, there's not a whole lot happening, so like you just kind of go sit mid and farm it, and you don't have to use mana to farm. Like if you're sitting here farming right now, like you just right click things down. If you need to get out, then you can like use your spells and then get out. So like buy like 1 or 2 clarities, and then like just sit here and farm this, you know, and like regen mana passively over time with your arcane ring and your void stone and your arcane boots. Just kind of overbuying regen. You're gonna farm this. Kind of okay. So you use all your mana. No. Okay. You use all your mana to farm, which I don't mind, but then you need to go back to Fountain. Like, use the free regen at Fountain. Don't run around from 0 mana and just 1 clarity and think that's enough. Like, you don't even have your arcane boots anymore.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, you're gonna show up to this fight, you're not gonna have a ton of mana. I mean, I guess it kind of works out. You barely have enough mana. Like, if you had walked base and gotten full mana, you could have still, like, global ulted. You could have, like, maybe TP'd in and showed up later. I don't know exactly how the timing would have worked out. But... So now you are going back to base. This is good now. Yeah, you're just overbuying clarities. Like, I know you need to buy a lot, but just buy, like, 1 or 2 at a time, you know? Fly out more if needed, but, like, consider going back to base more than you are. You're just slightly overbuying clarities. By slightly, I mean more than slightly. You're kind of way overbuying clarities. It's better than not buying any clarities at all, but like, you know, gotta moderate it back just a little bit. Given their lineup and how the game's playing out, like Ags is obviously good, but you need to buy Shard. So like this needs to be a Shard. You have to buy Shard at 15 minutes, no exceptions. And I will just show you. I can't filter this, I don't think, just by position 4, but like, or wait, no, I can. Okay, wait. This applies to any position Zeus, but like, if you look at the shards, 17, 19, 15, this is kind of late, but they were rushing Ags, and they got it early, which is kind of crazy. But like, 25 is late, 19, 26 is really late, 16, 20, 15, 22, 15, 15, 16, 15, 18, 17. Like, you need to buy Shard, like, as soon after 15 as possible. Like, given the gold. So, like, if Shard's not on your mind, like, you're not... Like, the hero is good because of Shard right now. Like, Leap plus the Shard is what makes the hero good. And Shard is a big part of that. The Shard is so good. 9% damage of their current health on every hero that's hit by every spell. I don't know what to say. It's just too much damage. Like, it's why the hero's good. He just the Shard is so much damage. So you not having a Shard is bad. Okay, so you're sitting farming a lane, pushing out mid. I like that. That was nice. Go push out mid again. Go do it again. Stop jungling. Yeah, you should be pushing out mid sooner. Kuka's gonna do it instead. You guys are like kind of owning them now. They're really far ahead. I think given that you guys are owning, I don't think going Ags is bad. I think you just need to get the Shard first, and then like you can go back for Ags or whatever. It's also a really good 4-staff game, but given that you're owning, you can kind of get away with going greedier items. So here, want to fight completely out of mana. Your ulti's on cooldown. Which does, I guess that doesn't matter because it's global. Like, I just need you to TP base right now. Like, your hero offers nothing while not having enough mana, and they've already got 3 heroes dead. So like, whether your team pushes this tower or whether they split up and farm more, there's nothing you really provide by being here with low mana. So I just need you to TP base, regen all your mana, and then run back to where your team is. And yes, you will be gone for like 30-ish seconds, and that's okay. I just need you to do it. I need you to not have 200 mana after a fight and just be hanging around with like this little mana.
You die.
This is just not... It's just not really good enough. The clarities... Like, this is only working well because you guys are already so far ahead. But like, if you need to like cast like all your spells, and like now you don't have mana for like all your spells plus your ultimate, it's just inefficient. Like you just can't play as strongly as you would be able to otherwise. And like, you know, you can't clean up lanes well when you're low on mana, all that stuff.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You guys are like kind of just cleaning them up whenever they leave their base, which is nice. Might want to wrap up here soon. I don't know if there's too much more to say that I haven't already said. Just a little bit more and see if anything else notable happens. This is really nice. Like keeping this shoved in for your team is really nice. I would want to stay up here until I get kicked out. Like here, this like you can be killing as they're killing your creeps. Like you're like nuking this wave down with your Q. Like I want you to do that. It's really good to just do that one extra wave and then walk back towards your team. Because you could have done it safely. And instead, you know, these creeps are meeting here. And imagine if this wave just got to walk all the way to hit this tower again. It just gives you guys so much information and vision. And it forces them to react. Or if they don't, then they're taking free tower damage. So, could have stayed one more wave top for sure. You could have queued that wave out 4 more times. This is good. Anytime you're cutting waves, I'm kind of liking it. I just want you to do it more, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut it here. We covered a lot. So hopefully that's helpful. I think if you make these tweaks, like with your skill builds, and not overbuying regen quite so much, and getting the shard earlier, you will continue to like see really good results if you play Zeus this way. Like you're mostly playing right, and don't TP into like these reactionary plays where your guy's like already basically dead anyways. Like your hero just doesn't do that. Just like to take the open lanes, and early on in lane is important. Like harass them more, you know. Don't like go way out of position doing it. Just take some pot shots, you know. Whatever range hero you're playing, I need you to hit the enemy core a little bit. And at least if you're doing it, then we can talk about how you can do it better. But like right now, you're just not doing it. And I just need you to start doing it. So hopefully that was helpful. And thanks for signing up.